What's going on, guys? I'm John. This is Clang and Bang, and it is unseasonably cold in Alabama right now. But anyway, this big guy right here is the new night vision scope I got from OneLeaf.AI. Now that the intro is over, you guys know what's coming. This is the part where I make a comment about taking you guys inside so we can get a closer look. But in all actuality, I'm going to take my phone inside and show you this on a table because I've got better lighting and it's just easier that way. So let's go. All right, before we go inside, there's one thing I'm going to ask you to do. I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe yet because we're just starting the video and you haven't even seen it yet. You don't know if you like it. You don't know if you want to subscribe. One thing I am going to ask you to do is comment, because I like comments more than all the other stuff anyway. I like to see what you guys say. I like to answer back. And I think it helps the videos more because YouTube doesn't really like me. I make videos about guns and stuff and they demonetize all of them. And so to help me out, help you guys out, just leave me a comment. And what I want you to tell me is what kind of gun you think this would go best on. You know, like bolt action rifle, AR-15, 22, 17 HMR, whatever. Let me know what you think this would go best on, and yeah, let's get inside. What you're looking at right here is the OneLeaf.AI Commander NV400 digital day night vision scope. So for those of you who don't know what a digital scope is, it looks just like a regular, like I guess, analog scope that has a tube with a series of lenses that you look through passively, and you can see all the way through it. It's got a reticle. You can change it, whatever. This one is a lot different. It's basically a camera over here, a lens inside, like a screen, not a lens, a screen inside of here, and batteries and electronics all in the middle. It's in the shape of a scope, so it'll fit scope rings and scope accessories, and it'll fit on top of a gun. But functionally and all that stuff, is nowhere near the same as what a analog scope is. It has no lenses that you can look through. When this thing's turned off, you can't see through it at all. It's, like I said, it's a screen. You can't see through. This battery, this compartment right here that would be like the elevation knob, is a battery that goes all the way down to the bottom. So there's no looking through it unless you turn it on. So that's what a digital day and night vision scope is, and that's the difference between this and a regular scope that you can look through that has no power. So this is how it looks sitting on the gun. It does come with these scope rings right here, which I believe are probably like 1.5 inches tall. I've got it sitting on a little bit of a riser, so it's sitting up a little bit more. I like my optics a little bit higher, just a little more comfortable, sitting a little bit higher. So it comes with some standard like AR height scope rings. They do have a little Picatinny on the top, which is cool, I guess. You can put, it's got it made for this. This is the IR flashlight that it comes with. It shoots an IR beam out the end. You can focus it, make it wider or narrower. And this little ring you kind of have to keep because, I don't know if you can see, you can move, kind of aim the beam downrange at it. But this is made to really go like on top of here. But I don't like that. It's on an AR with plenty of scope, and this looks more tactical to me. It just seems a little bit better, a little sleeker, better distribution of weight. So I put it up here. You know, it works just the same. On this side, this is a rangefinder that is built into the scope. You can't really use it on its own because it has like metal contacts inside here that when you mount it, it connects to the, I guess, the computer in the switch or circuits in the scope to make it work. And you know, it's tied in directly here, so you can't really use it on its own. It's made to go with the scope. All right, let me get this out of the way because this is huge. And we'll bring the box down. This is the box that comes in. Pretty good. Cardboard, you know, just standard box. It's got some styrofoam on the inside. These are the different reticles that it comes with. It's got this one right here, which has got kind of an open center. It's an MRAD. So you got each little tick is a half an MRAD in each one. Big tick is 1 MRAD. As you can see, you move on over. Same thing. It's just got the center is closed. This open, that's closed. Come over to here. This is MOA. This is the one I like to use just because MOA to me is easier. You know, 1 inch, 1 MOA, 1 inch. You got this one, big box with like a dot. I guess if you were trying to shoot some fast moving animals, that might be better. Then you just got your standard like duplex, thin inside, thick outside reticle, standard red dot, and then like the old like Vasily Zaitsev Russian sniper style with the 3 and the dot in the middle. Like I said, this is the one I usually go with. You can change the reticle, all these different colors. I've got it on green right now. I'll probably just go between like red and green. I don't know. Never seen a purple or blue reticle. I don't know why you'd have white. You'd probably lose it. Maybe unless you were using it at night. Maybe, I don't know. And then, you know, black, standard. Open it up. Cool little book. A little bit about the flashlight right there. How to mount the batteries, all that stuff. This is really kind of important because, like I said, it's a computer. It's a camera, a computer, and a screen on the inside. So it has all kinds of things that you have to know. These are some of the little add-ons and little features. But when we get back to here, see, this is what the screen on the inside of the scope looks like. You got all these little things. You know, it's not circular like a regular scope. It's actual like square, like you're looking at a computer screen, just inside of a tube. Yep. See, there's the little contacts for the rangefinder, like I was talking about. Anyway, over here, it's got all kind of options. You got menus. You can click a button on the top. It brings you a menu. You can twist the knob and it like scrolls down. It's not too intimidating. It took me a little while just clicking through it, but you know, I kind of got the hang of it. You can change the reticle types, reticle color, the shot zero. That was pretty cool when I went to zeroing in. So you shoot a hole and a target. You find this in the menu, which is, like I said, not too hard. And then you line the red reticle up with your, what does it say? Make sure I'm not quoting it wrong. Move red reticle to bullet hole. Okay, so you leave that where your bullet hole was, and then you move the white. Move red reticle to bullet hole while keeping the right reticle, white reticle on your point of aim. So like I said, they're paired up like this. When you start moving that knob, the red reticle is going to move on an X and Y axis. It's almost like each click is like a pixel on the screen. So you leave one on the bullet hole and you move the other one to where you were trying to aim, and then it marries them up. Once you save it, it marries it up. And then it actually moves the reticle on the screen. So like mine is kind of like down over here a little bit. I don't know if it's just the way I mounted the rings or what, but it's kind of off center. So when you cut on the screen and you're on like one power, whatever the one, it's not a true one. It's kind of like 4 or 5, but it's a digital zoom. So anyway, you can see the reticle kind of down here, which is kind of weird at first, but once you start zooming in, you know, it goes to the center and you don't really notice it. But anyway, that's how you zero it in. Pretty cool. Right there. It's got the X and Y down here. So you're, like I said, you're really just moving the reticle on the screen to a coordinate like a pixel. So it takes, if you have to move a lot, it's a lot of clicks. You can change the resolution, movie mode. It does save pictures and movies. I'll roll some of those in. You can swap from first focal plane to second focal plane. So that means the reticle, when you zoom in, it can either stay the same size or it can get bigger and smaller and bigger as you zoom in. I like first focal plane because the tick marks stay the same. They represent the same measurement no matter what magnification you're at. So if you're at minimum, that tick mark is going to mean 1 MOA. If you're at 13 magnification, it's still going to be 1 MOA. On second focal plane, you know, they're usually designed for, those tick marks are usually designed for max magnification. So if you zoom out or dial down the magnification, it's not going to represent the same 1 MOA. It's got a day, starry, and night mode. Daylight is just normal kind of scope. Nighttime goes black and white. It's not green like a like military style night vision. It's kind of black and white grayscale. Picture in picture, movie clip time, you know, all these different sort of things. It does have a compass and a gyro. You have to set them up so it can tell you like if you're rolled one side or the other and kind of which direction you're facing, but you have to calibrate them to do that, which, you know, isn't very hard. Then brightness, saturation, contrast, all the little camera options like that, you know, because it is a camera in the front, so you've got all the camera options. Video playback, you can play them back. It also comes with a HDMI cord right here, a little mini. Plugs into the side of the scope, and then a USB, or it's actually HDMI. So you can view them remotely. Well, battery charger, because it does come with a pretty good size battery. Little battery pack. This is another scope cap, like if you wanted to use a bigger battery in there. It's a little taller, so you can fit a bigger battery. Little Allen key. This is for the flashlight, which is pretty cool. It goes in the side of the flashlight mount. Little charging cord, USB-C charging cord. So that way you can charge it up while it's on while the battery's in. Allen wrenches for different little screws on the scope. Two little eyepieces. They screw on, one longer than the other, I guess, just to help you see the screen a little better. Maybe if it's really bright, and at night the screen does reflect back onto your face, so maybe this will help with some of that. This is a sunshade that screws into the front. It's a little bit weird because it's smaller than the objective lens, but it does cut down some of that light, you know, because it's a camera and a screen, like I said, and you don't want to wash out the camera with a whole bunch of sunlight. All right, so let's get this big guy back up here. This thing is fairly heavy. If I remember the weight, I'll denote it on I will put it on the screen, I should say. Anyway, this scope is fairly large, as you can see. It's pretty heavy. It does add a good bit of heft to the gun. But here's the top of it. This is the main button you're going to be using a lot. You can hit it, long hold it, and it'll bring up the menu. You can hit it once, and it'll bring up like record or your rangefinder, which the rangefinder, you go in there and it gives you a little yellow mark on the screen, and then you put it to nighttime mode, so it's black and white, and this thing you can see it flashing like downrange, and you just line it up where it's flashing with the little reticle or the little tick on the screen. That way it can line up and, you know, be accurate. So that's how you use that. These are all the buttons. This is record. That takes you, you know, to nighttime mode and all that stuff, and brightness, that sort of thing. Power button on this side. Oh, there it is. Long hold it, cuts it on, cuts it off, all that sort of thing. This, set this thing down because, like I said, it's heavy. Take this scope cap off. And you've got your memory card in there. You've got your, it looks like a little small HDMI for video transfer, and you've got a Type-C right there for charging. Then on the top right here is your battery compartment, 50 millimeter battery. It's just a little rechargeable battery pack. Like I said, if you put a taller one on there, in there, you can use that 65 millimeter battery cap. It'll feel a lot better. Up front, that's the lens. This is for like starry mode, I guess. I use it on daytime if it's kind of cloudy. It works just fine. But nighttime, they want you to open it to allow all the light into the front. Close it, and then this guy, when you're doing like super bright mode, screw it in, and it looks kind of funny, but, you know, I guess it's supposed to work the best. You got your focus up front, which you definitely need when you go out long distance. You got tweak it a little bit. For far and near, it's kind of self-explanatory. This helps you focus in the image on the screen back here in the back of the scope. And here's your flashlight. It's got a battery. It goes in the back. It tells you how to orient it, which is great. This turns the, we need to tighten that down. This turns the focus right here, the beam, I guess, intensity or beam size. And the 3 little lights right there tell you what power you're on. So it's got like a high, low, and medium. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light. It's kind of self-explanatory. All right, that's enough for this tabletop stuff. We're going to do the rest outside because, like I said, this thing is about too big for my little table here. So we're going to go over the rest of it outside so we can get a better look at it. All right, so here's the scope on the rifle. You can see just how big it is. This is a rifle link stock 18-inch barrel. You can see how chunky this boy is. It is heavy. It has a lot of things added on. The rangefinder, the big flashlight. I do have the bipod, which adds a little bit, but that's beside the point. This scope is heavy. I would not want to carry this a long way. I would not want to go trekking through the woods with it too far. If I'm going to shoot this, if I'm going to hunt with it, I'm going to want to sit somewhere and prop this bad boy up. So that leads me into kind of the philosophies, the different philosophies of use. If we're going to steal a nothing fancy term, the philosophies of use for this scope. So one of them would be hunting. If you're going to hunt like coyotes or something at night, coyotes, hogs, raccoons, stuff like that, I think this would be great for something like that. You can just sit up, find yourself a spot to sit. You can record your hunts. You can show your buddies all the cool things that you shot, how big the hog you killed, whatever. You got this IR flashlight so you can see a long way away. You can see the animals. You can zoom all the way into them. And for those small little varmint, you can let's do a pretty good job at helping you hunt those varmints, especially at night. For the kind of Minuteman armed civilian, it does have a place. If you do need to see at night, this can, for one thing, it can just help you see a lot farther at night. If you need to, you can use this flashlight if you're just going to observe things from a long way away and you don't really want to be spotted with like a big bright flashlight. You can use this. However, you have to be aware that everybody else is going to be able to see this with their night vision, because this is an IR flashlight. You can see it with regular night vision. That being said, just be careful with it. You can use it to observe a long way away. You can record things. You can record movements, things that are coming and going. You can record it with the scope, bring it back, show everybody. You can kind of discuss things. The only downside is this is a digital scope, so you have to turn it on to even be able to use it. It's not just passive. You can't just look through it, with a dead, non-illuminated reticle and be able to use it. You have to power it on. It has to have a charged battery to work, all that sort of thing. So it's not very versatile in that aspect. It's kind of dedicated to, just hunting at night or observing from a long way away. It's not going to be like your quick reaction, pick it up, grab it, and use it. It's kind of got a dedicated role. And in that dedicated role, it does a really good job at it. You can zoom in a long way. It does give you good picture. You can record, do all those things that I mentioned before. So, like this rifle, this is one of my frontline, top 3-4 rifles. So this scope is probably not going to live here. I just don't want to tie down this rifle to this roll right here. If you had maybe a dedicated upper you wanted to put it on, that'd be great. Or a complete rifle that's just dedicated to hunting varmint, hunting hogs, whatever, or being your long range observing nighttime shooting rifle. That'd be great for it. But for me and this rifle, it's not the best fit because, like I said, it's heavy. It takes up one of my rifles for something that's not very versatile. So it's not going to live here. I might build out a dedicated upper for it, just like a cheap 16 or 18-inch upper that I can use to hunt with, or whatever. But like I said, it's not going to live on this rifle. So all in all, I do like this scope. It does a really good job at what it's designed for. It's not that expensive for what it is. I think $600–700 for all of this stuff included. I don't think is that bad. You get night vision. It's pretty much a camera, a screen, and all this other cool computer stuff inside of here, and a rangefinder. So for that price, I don't think it's that bad. I will have a link below where you can find it. So yeah, if you are looking for a night vision scope that you can hunt with, or have a kind of a limited role in your Minuteman setup, then check it out. So yeah, there it is, the Commander NV400 from OneLeaf.AI.